And now my glasses are clearing up and I finally can see this book is going to be a 6 star. But God, was I wrong. I am someone who loves starting series, and especially series that have a lot of books in them, because I love diving into a character's world and actually getting to know them and getting to know everyone around them. But one thing I always do is start a new series before finishing the first. So I decided to start a video series on my channel where I finish series I'm in the middle of. And today is part 1 where I finished the Seven Sisters series by Lucinda Riley. I started this series at the end of June and it is September 1st now, so it has been almost 3 months. So I think it's time to finish the series. I'm going to start the 7th book today, which is called The Missing Sister, and I thought I would bring you along. So grab a drink, cozy up, and join me while I finish the Seven Sisters series by Lucinda Riley. I am in the car, I have the physical book in my bag, but I have a 35 to 40 minute drive ahead of me. So I thought I would start the book as an audiobook and then switch to the physical copy when I am at my location. I'm very excited to see what I think about the main character of this book, because all the other sisters I had met before, but this sister is unknown to anyone in the family. So I don't know anything about her yet, so she is completely new to me, and I'm very curious to see if I'm going to like her, if it's going to be clear from the start who she is, or if I have to get to know her throughout the book and then find out her name at the end.
This ain't forever, so hold me closer, 'cause we still have some.
Hello guys, it has been a few days since I last talked to you. I started The Missing Sister on Sunday and it is Wednesday right now. It is actually time for me to leave for work, but I keep forgetting to talk to you guys about my thoughts on this book, so I thought let's just do it now so I won't forget. So I started The Missing Sister. I am on page 162 right now and it has 680 some pages. So I have consumed quite a bit of the story, but I'm nowhere near finishing this book. I'm actually very much liking it so far. The vibes in this book are very different just because you don't know who the seventh sister is. So this book kind of feels like a mystery. I have met a few people who might be the sister, but as of right now, I don't know who the sister is. I'm also in the first flashback part of the book, so I'm reading about 1920, and so far I'm actually very liking the backstory too. In these books, you never know why you learn the past, because the information that they give you is most of the time not from the parent of the sister, but a few generations before. So you go back so far in the past and you're just thinking, who is this person and how are they related to the main character? But since you don't know who the main character is right now, it makes it extra mysterious and fun to read about. It almost looks like I didn't move, but I promise you it is 10 hours later than my last clip. But I got a package and I thought I would show you because there are books inside. I was really eyeing these books. They both are on my September TBR, but let me show you the books that I got. So the first book I got is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I really like the cover. I chose the UK penguin cover. I really like the design, the simplicity of it, and also the size. And the next book I got is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. I think it is a romance book. These are the books that I got, and you will see me read them in a video very, very soon because I cannot wait to dive into these. I'm going to keep reading this monstrosity, and I will get back to you whenever I have any thoughts.
For skies, but boy, I've seen those eyes before. They counted off all foot. I wanted and needed, they cast me in and out your door. I see myself wanting more. Oh, you got me sweating.
I have been reading in my bed and I wanted to talk about something that I've noticed before in this series. I said before that this book and this series has multiple plots at the same time, so you read a lot of chapters about the past and you also read about the present. And one thing I have noticed before is that you get sucked into the story of the past so much that you almost forget that story is not the main plot. It is a side plot to explain the roots of the main character. You get invested in the story of the character in the past so much that you almost forget that it's only there to support and also explain the story of the main character in the present, which is a good sign because that means that I am as invested in the past as I am in the present. So I don't care if I'm reading in the past or I'm reading in the present because I like both plots, I like both POVs. So I am enjoying myself either way. So I don't really care what plot I'm reading right now because I like both of
Between
them.
sheets, oh, you got me sweating in this summer heat. I just love to love ya, only for the summer. Wait, was it always pretty in my dreams? Was it? I wanna taste you like sugar in my tea, but it's bittersweet.
It's been a while since I last spoke to you guys. The last time I spoke to you was on Wednesday and it is Saturday right now. I think I was on page 255 the last time I spoke to you and I'm at page 265 right now. So I have read a bunch, so I have some more thoughts. The plot has been unraveling a lot. There are a lot of questions that have been answered. There's also a mystery getting unraveled as I'm reading the story. I still don't know who the missing sister is, but I have a very clear guess that is also based on the information that I've got. This story follows way more characters than the last few books. This book follows almost all the sisters in the present and then follows the missing sister in the past, but it's not confusing because you know all these characters, so it's not hard to keep track of them, and it's also very nice to get a view of their life after their book. Those are my thoughts right now. I will have more after I finish reading this book. It's the next day. It is Sunday right now, and I finished The Missing Sister this morning. So let's talk about my thoughts before starting the next book. I really love this book. There was a lot of mystery in it, and all the other books had some sort of mystery, but this book has the most in my opinion. The story is complex, it is emotional, it is exciting to read about. I loved seeing the POV of not only the missing sister but also all the other sisters, and also in the past there were multiple POVs of characters from the past of the missing sister. So all those POVs, the different plots, made this 700-page book not feel long at all. The ending was satisfying but also builds a seamless bridge to the next and final book in the series. The ending of this book makes me want to continue finish the series immediately. I can get the answers that I'm looking for so I can finish my journey in this world, which also makes me sad because I don't want to say goodbye to the characters of this series. So those are my thoughts on The Missing Sister. I gave it 4.75 stars. It is not quite yet a 5-star book, but it is close enough for me to not want to rate it 4.5 stars. So that's why it's 4.75. And I will see you when I start Atlas later today or maybe tomorrow. It is a couple of hours later than when I talked about The Missing Sister and my rating. I am done with my task for today, which means I can start the next book for this video, which is Atlas. This is the last and final installment of the Seven Sisters series. It is a thick boy. I have not looked at the page count yet, but I'm going to do that right now. This book is just shy of 700 pages. It has 698 pages. Just from reading the back, there are a lot of mysteries that has to be unraveled. Past is going to be in Paris 1928, where a 10-year-old boy, lonely and hurt, shows up in the garden of a rich family and they raise him lovely, but his past stays a mystery, and the present plot just starts when the last book ended, and you will see whatever happens. I'm very excited to start it because I don't know anything about the father of the sisters. He has always been a very mysterious guy. Not even the girls know what he did for a living and why he was as rich as he is. So I'm going to start reading it now. I don't know how long this is going to take me because it is a thick book. Let's start.
Please don't call to tell me that you miss me. Too soon to hear the words, right place, wrong time. Counting every second that you kiss me. Couldn't see the signs, but boy,
It is a couple of hours later. I'm on page 120 right now, and a lot has happened, so I thought I would share some of my thoughts. This book already has blown my mind multiple times. I can already see that the author of this story is so smart in her ways. She has put so many Easter eggs in the first 7 books, and I'm just now realizing what has been right in front of my eyes. So that is something that I really like. I love being mind blown. I love being caught off guard. And this book has already caught me off guard multiple times. I have learned a little bit about the backstory of the father. I still have a lot of questions, but also the girls have a lot of questions. I'm just figuring out things as they are figuring it out. I'm interested in the father's backstory. I'm interested in the plot that follows the girls. It is Tuesday right now, which means I've been reading Atlas for 2 days now, and I have some thoughts that I wanted to share before I went to work. This young boy they were talking about on the back of the book, the interactions that he has are not frequent because he doesn't speak a lot, but when he has an interaction with someone, it is so impactful and cute to read about. And also his personality is very well written. He feels complex. You can feel that he has gone through a lot without the author actually having to explain that he has been through a lot. There was one plot twist at the beginning of the book that connects with the first book, and that blew my mind. But the second plot twist didn't blow my mind because I guessed it early on. So far, I'm really liking it. I'm on page 240 or something. I really like reading the physical book, but I also really like the audiobook. So I'm going to keep switching in between the audiobook and the physical book whenever I have time to do either of them. So far, I'm also liking this book more than any other book. So it might be a 5 stars. Like I said, I'm only 250 pages in. This book has almost 800 pages, so I'm nowhere near finished. Sorry that I keep filming in the same spot, but the weather is horrible right now, which means my house is way too dark to film. So the only place I can film is here right in front of the window. So that's why it feels like I don't move. But the last time I filmed was this morning around 8:30 a.m. and right now it is almost 7 p.m. So I have been listening to the audiobook on my drive to work and on my drive back, and I was listening to it just now while I was preparing to get a shower. And one thing I really wanted to talk to you about right now, because I don't want to forget, is the fact that this 8th book feels like I have not been paying attention to all the other 7 books, because I just now realized that I have met the father so many times in these books, and I just did not realize it was him. Like, it feels like I was reading this book with foggy eyes, and now my glasses are clearing up and I finally can see. I already feel like I'm going to reread this series because I need to read the first 7 books knowing what I know now, just so I can appreciate how smart the author was for writing this story. Like I said this morning, nowhere near finishing. But if this story is going to continue like it is now, I can 100% guarantee that this book is going to be a 6-star.
I want it, I got it, wish I could flaunt it like the old. And feel myself wanting more. Oh, you got me sweating in this summer heat. Even in this weather, find us in between the sheets. Oh, you got me sweating in this summer heat. I
Did I stay up until midnight last night to finish the series? Yes, I physically could not stop reading the book, so I just decided to stay up yesterday and finish the book. And I'm so happy I did because the point where I wanted to stop last night actually just was a step stool until the rest of the book, and the rest of the book was crazy. So let's talk about it. I'm so grateful that I have gotten to know the father of the sisters because I always imagined him being cold just because the girls didn't know too much about his life and his work. So I always thought that he was a good father but not a good person. But God, was I wrong. I appreciate him so much now that I know his story. And I don't think we would have gotten the closure that we have now if we didn't get his side of the story. So I'm super happy that the last book in the series was about him. Did I guess the biggest plot twist of this book in like the first 3 books of the series? Yes. But did it ruin me finding out? Absolutely not. It wouldn't have been this satisfying if someone just straight up told me, you guessed it and you are right, because I wouldn't have known the context, and the context makes it so much more impactful. This book was the ending the sisters and their father deserved because it finished the story in a way that was so beautifully and satisfying. Like, I'm so happy that I read this series. I wouldn't have wanted to miss it. I'm so attached to the characters. I was invested in their story. I wanted to root for them, and I wanted them to be successful in life. Even though I didn't give the first 7 books 5 stars, this series is still a 5-star series to me, especially the last book. I don't think I've ever read a book that has this many plot twists and turns and twists. Like, it was written so good. It takes a lot of talent from an author to be able to come up with these storylines and to make them intertwine seamlessly without it feeling far-fetched. Like, even though the craziest things happened in this book, it still felt realistic. I did guess a few pages in that I was going to rate this 6 stars, and I actually did rate it 6 stars. It was incredible. It was a real page turner. I read this 700-page book in 5 days, and I had work and I had school and I had all these obligations, and I still managed to read just because I just needed to find out how the story was going to end. This means that I finished the Seven Sisters series by Lucinda Riley, and I obviously only vlogged myself reading the last 2 books, but I want to give a little bit of attention to the other books just so you know all my thoughts about the whole series. I liked the entire series. I liked every single book, even though I didn't rate them all 5 stars. The first book is called The Seven Sisters, and I rated it 4.5 stars. The second book is called The Storm Sister, and I rated it 4 stars. The third book is called The Shadow Sister, and I rated it 4.75 stars. The fourth book was called The Pearl Sister, and I rated it 3.5 stars. The fifth book is called The Moon Sister, and it got 3 stars. The sixth book, called The Sun Sister, got 4.25 stars. The seventh book, called The Missing Sister, got 4.75 stars, and the last book, called Atlas, got 6 stars. So I finished this series. I have so many series on my TBR, but I want to finish at least 1 or 2 more before starting them. Keep an eye out for me posting more videos about me finishing series, because I'm definitely going to do more of these videos. Comment down below which series you are reading right now or which series you want to start next. This was the video of me finishing the Seven Sisters series by Lucinda Riley. I hope you liked the video. I hope you give it a like. Hope you comment down below the answer on my question, and I'll see you in my next video whenever I post it. Bye!
Only for the summer.